Dele Alli, that's the one, right? I'm looking at it now. Nick Mendola, Everton bringing in Dele Alli. They already brought in Donny van der Beek to play for Frank Lampard, who was only announced as their new manager earlier on today. What do you think about those pickups, especially with Everton in really poor form and in a relegation scrap? Let's not beat around the bush there. They're in a relegation scrap. So these are the kind of luxury players that are, yes, very good playmakers, but are these the kind of guys you need in a relegation scrap?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. It all depends on Frank Lampard. And you guys know, and anybody who watches our show, PST Unfiltered, will know that I don't believe in this guy. I think he set the table for Thomas Tuchel to basically come in, play all the good experienced players, and look like a genius. If Lampard can control a room, then these guys coming in can be switch flippers for them. Van de Beek's a fantastic talent. Dele Alli is going to need someone he respects to put him on the straight and narrow, or to put him in the position where he's going to deliver what we're used to seeing without without doing too much of the things that hurt his team when he's out there. And so I just don't know that I buy Lampard to do that. They will get the new manager push for a minute, but remember, this team has talent and character guys as well on the team already. I mean, no one's going to look at a Mason Holgate. No one's going to look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin and think these guys don't work as hard as they can for the team. So the talent is there. Bringing in Van de Beek, when you have Allen and a number of very good players in the middle of the park who haven't been living up to their potential, and knowing what Lampard does, knowing what Lampard did as a player, I should say, this is a situation for him to come in and really make his name. But I kind of think about him looking back, and I wonder how he got this job in the first place. And to me, that puts a lot of pressure on him because, when he was with the Rams down in the championship, yes, he brought Mason Mount into the universe for us as football fans, but they finished sixth and went to the playoffs, something that they basically did the previous few years. You look at Chelsea and got himself into a final, but did they not prove immediately with the guy after that they were better? And so for Everton, after Benitez fails, after Ancelotti fails, after they're considering bringing Roberto Martinez back, I think this is something where both parties, the manager and the club, have to have things happen. Considering how much they've spent, this is massive pressure. Forget relegation. The expectation should be that this guy that they're bringing in, Lampard, does enough to push them up the table with a fantastic second half. And I don't know if we can count on that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, right? Because as Nick mentioned there, Andy, there's going to be a lot of expectation, not only on new players, but a new manager in Lampard or a new manager in Eddie Howe, relatively new managers across the league who have now had some time to bring in their own players. Antonio Conte a little bit as well, to mold the squad, to shape the squad. And now I think they might be panicking because we're seeing some deals go through late in the window. But if we're looking on the final hour now, I mean, Dele Alli's the big one. Obviously, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, which we're going to get on to talk about shortly, going to Barcelona is another big one. But there are some clubs, I think, who really could have done with some late deals going through, like Newcastle, like Tottenham, where they probably just haven't been able just to get it over the line.
Yeah, and I think Everton's another one of those. And I think you asked the right question, Joe, to say, is that the right type of player that you need in the relegation battle? It does feel like the plan at Everton is still, we don't really have a plan. Who's the best player in the world that would come sign for us? Let's go get him. It still feels like kind of the Manchester United transfer strategy of who's available, that's who will sign. It's very convenient that Dele Alli available because he's not in Antonio Conte's plans whatsoever. Donny van de Beek also not in Ralph Rangnick's plans after not being in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans. So he's available. And they just seem to keep taking the players that are available to them because it's convenient and it's easy. And it's also really expensive. The amount of money that has been lit on fire by Everton since Farhad Moshiri bought the club, it's over $700 million. And that number keeps going up and up. And, they have a manager who I think Nick just kind of laid it out pretty well right there. We have no idea if Frank Lampard is a good manager at the Premier League level, at the championship level. We don't know what his level is yet because he has only been in one job for a very short period of time with the real spotlight on him like he's going to have at Everton. The pressure at Everton, and again, Nick put it right, is not just to help them avoid relegation this season, is can he push them forward? And I just don't know that Frank Lampard has the ideas to, one, to build a squad, because that squad needs to be a lot like Tottenham, kind of torn apart and then put back together with some serious needs addressed. I just don't know that he's the right man for that. And so even with him, it feels like, they sat there at Goodison and said, who's the biggest name that's available? It doesn't really matter if they're a good manager. It doesn't matter what they've done in their managerial career. What's the biggest name out there? And that's who they ended up with. And we just don't have evidence that he's actually a good manager.
That's very true. And I think you saw evidence, though, of his big name and the kind of pull that he has, right? I think Dele Alli and Donny van de Beek aren't going to Everton unless Frank Lampard's there and he can develop them into goal-scoring midfielders and help them improve and get back to their best. And that's what they are at the moment, a restoration project, both for the manager, both for players and the club overall. But they need direction.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.